Hi everybody, welcome back to Mando Lessons. This is the next part in the basic series over at mandolessons.com. It's going to take you from knowing nothing about the mandolin to learning your first tune, first song, a bunch of chords and scales. So let's jump right into it. This lesson is on right hand technique, so I'm going to be focusing entirely on the right hand today. If you haven't watched the previous lessons, I recommend it, but if not, then here we go. Here's the lesson on the right hand technique. So, for the most part, what you really want to focus on is having your right arm be nice and loose. So the way I do this is I drop my right hand down to my side. I've got no pick in my hands. Just wiggle your wrist a little bit, just kind of let everything relax. And then you're going to bring your right arm up, just kind of bend it out the elbow. You want to avoid bringing your elbow out or tucking it in. So it's just going to come up at the elbow and kind of turn in towards your stomach, and it's going to land on the instrument somewhere around here. So just try that a couple times. Shake your arm out, bring it up, tip it in. Again, you don't want your elbow to go way out. You don't want to be pushing the instrument this direction. Just a nice sort of middle of the road feel is what you're looking for. Just stay nice and relaxed. Don't lock anything up, that sort of thing. So that's all well and good, but it's pretty hard to play the mandolin without a pick. If you're looking for some pick recommendations, go over to mandolessons.com and check out the Getting Started section. I've got a bunch of ideas about different picks over there. But I use a big, heavy triangle. It's about 1.5 millimeter. And I find that sort of heavy gauge picks work well for me on the mandolin, and I like the big triangle because there's more to hold on to. But that's not the important part. The important part is how to hold on to it. So what I do is I kind of start out with my hand sort of ahead, and then you're going to be dropping the pick. I'm going to sort of tip down so it's easier for you to see. The pick goes into your fingers, kind of in this loose, kind of like you're opening a door. You get this nice kind of loose fist. Your hand's not out like this. It's not really crunched in. Just imagine you're going for a door handle, and you're going to slip the pick in. So the point is pointing off, sort of across your body, off to your left. When your hand is sort of straight out, and then when your arm flips in towards your stomach, it lands on the strings very nicely. And gives you a nice clean tone out of the instrument. If you're holding the pick too hard, you'll get a lot of sort of pick sound. It can be a little bit harsh. And if you're holding it too loosely, you might drop the pick. But I'd much rather you drop the pick than hold on to it too tightly, because if you drop the pick, that means you're nice and relaxed, and that's a great thing. And you can learn to control the pick a little bit better as you play more. And learn not to drop the pick, but I myself still drop the pick some days. So another thing that's really helpful is to have the instrument at a little bit of an angle here. If it's really flat, I find that my pick ends up going kind of straight through the strings. So if this is the string, the pick is going kind of hits it on that flat edge of the pick entirely. And you get a lot of string noise if your neck is just straight out flat. But if the instrument is tipped a little bit, you get one edge of the pick to kind of roll off the strings a little bit. You kind of have the edge that's to your sort of pointed to your left. Hits the string first and kind of rolls through the string a little bit, and then the part to the right on the upstroke comes back and rolls off again. So it's a much rounder sound. Versus it's a personal preference. There's some great mandolin players that play with their neck down lower and kind of go for that more string heavy sound. But I really prefer the more rounder sound, and it kind of relaxes my right arm a little bit just by rolling through the strings like that. In terms of where that movement's coming from in your right hand, it's a little bit of your elbow. I'm going to move over a little bit so you can see what's going on. I'm not locking up my elbow and doing it all through the wrist. That's really going to add a lot of tension. And you just can't move as fast that way. And likewise, it's not locking up the wrist and moving the elbow. Kind of lose a lot of control there. So it's a little bit of everything. It's a little wrist, a little elbow, and it kind of looks, just kind of watch my right arm, and really make sure when you're trying this that you're nice and relaxed. If you need to re-relax, just put your hand down to your side, put the pick down, shake it out a little bit, get that nice loose grabbing a door handle pick grip back, and then bring it back over to the instrument. So when I pick, it's a little bit of my wrist and a little bit of elbow. So. That gives me a nice sort of little bit of everything, and as I said, keeps me nice and relaxed. Again, everybody does it a little bit differently, so if you find something that's really working for you and you feel like it's not stressing out your body, by all means, go with it, because everybody's built a little bit differently and everybody's got a little bit different technique, and it just takes the time to find what works for you. Really focusing on your right hand, there's a lot of stuff that happens in your left hand. That's sort of where all the note choices come. But I really find that a nice solid right hand, fundamentals in your right hand technique is really going to go a long way to make your music sound a lot better. Because even if your left hand is really versatile and you can play way up here and everything, if you don't have a solid rhythmic feel in your right arm, then your music's going to suffer. So it's really, definitely work on your left hand as well. But your right hand is kind of the motor behind the music, it's the engine. So really focusing on your right hand and coming back to it, even if you've been playing for a while, coming back to the right hand, see if you can relax it a little bit, get your pick nice and loose, kind of roll through the strings, and just really aim for a nice, clean tone coming out of the instrument. How good can you make one open string sound? Something I always think about. A lot of times I think about going through a string as kind of like a golf stroke. When you swing your golf club and you hit the ball, if you stop right there, it's going to feel really awkward. But you get that nice, smooth follow through. It really makes I don't play that much golf, so I don't really know what I'm talking about there. But I know follow through is a good thing. And you want to do the same sort of thing with that mandolin. So when I play through a string, my hand doesn't necessarily stop. It's moving through the string, and it's just sort of learning the control to not hit the next string if that's not what you're aiming for. Just getting a nice clean tone out of everything. And you can also get a lot of different sounds out of the instrument. So if you play way down near the bridge, you get this kind of metallic sound. And if you play way up over the neck, you start getting sort of pick clicks on the fretboard, and it's a very kind of tubby sound. So what I kind of aim for is somewhere right in the middle. Experiment, it's a little different on every instrument, and for every person it's a little different. So take your instrument and sort of your technique and figure out where it sounds best for you. So for me, it's somewhere right around in here. It's a nice sort of middle ground for a nice sort of combination of attack and smoothness of tone. So. About it. As I said, it's a lot to take in, but focusing on one little section at a time and really spending time with your right hand will really improve your playing, so I do recommend it. That's all for now. There's more lessons to come, including left hand and getting into some scales and chords, so check over at Mando Lessons or look at my YouTube page. If you enjoyed this lesson, there's a couple ways to donate over at mandolessons.com, and that's always appreciated. But the lessons will always be free, whether you're able to donate or not, so I appreciate it all the same. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.